Hello and welcome back to the Cube Counselor. Hopefully, trying to get back on a better schedule here. We're at about once a month right now, but hopefully people are still enjoying the show. We do not have a cube this week. Well, we do have an arena cube. I shouldn't say that. We missed some other great cubes. Vintage Cube and the Gabby Sparts LSV cube were up, but we're going to do some Modern Horizons because again, it's about sure you want to get better and get out of your comfort zone a little. We talk about that a lot, but we're also very excited for Modern Horizons 2. So what the heck? I believe this is our second draft. I went ahead and recorded it separate so that we could go through it a little bit. And you see I'm having trouble here. Maybe even you don't recognize the cards. I can't zoom in on them here, but tried to hold on the ones that I was looking at so that you could see. So we can go through this a little bit quicker. So hopefully that will make for a better show as well. So trying to make some improvements as we come back, hopefully to a little bit more of a regular schedule. So I have heard Captured by Legax is very good. We kind of started off the first draft. We went 1 and 2. So to be honest, I traded in some cards to do this draft. And again, in the interest of disclosure and honesty, I think that might have set me back a little bit. I was hoping to open some big money cards and draft some cool stuff, but maybe that wasn't the best way to do it. Maybe I should have done a phantom draft or something instead of using my tickets, because the masters or these high end sets can be pretty expensive. But I like the idea of the reanimator strategy in this cube. I've seen Caleb Durward and a couple other players play, but haven't seen them really draft that. But it definitely looks like it, and I think our first two picks lean heavily into that. So you can see here, again, sorry if people aren't as familiar with the set. I tried to highlight a few cards while I was going through, but so this is basically an entomb effect. Vile Entomber puts, and then Bone Shards is a really good removal spell. You have to discard a card, so we could easily put a card in the graveyard for that, or you can sacrifice a creature if we have a creature laying around. So first few picks seem pretty easy. We're getting some pretty powerful commons and uncommons. So that, feels good. Here we're going to take this Necromancer's Familiar, again, another discard outlet. And it gets better when you have no cards in hand, so that's good too. Also, Fuel's Madness card. And there we go. We get a gift here. This is a really good card from what I've heard in this draft environment. I mean, in any, an infest on a body is going to be pretty good, and it's a 4/5 flyer. So Archfiend Sorrows, we're feeling pretty good about our choices right now. Feeling pretty good about this draft overall. And we're just going to quickly kind of go through here. I believe we take the Madness Haste guy here because, again, we have a lot of discard outlets, and a 1-mana 2/2 flyer Haste for free seems good to us. All right, so we're going to fast forward here. And then, okay, so now I think we know our second color. Graceful Restoration brings a card back from the graveyard with a +1/+1 counter, or 2 power or less. So, we could get back our young Necromancer. We could get something like that. I'm deciding between Greed here. I don't know if that's very good. A 4-mana enchantment that you then again have to dump life and mana into didn't seem very good, so removal seemed better. And then we have Breathless Night here, which rewards, if we are in the Orzhov color pair. Oh, we took Underworld Cookbook. I missed that too. So another discard outlet, but maybe more favoring a heavier Madness. But we'll see where we go here. We get a 2-mana 2/2 that can sack other creatures. And we get some junk here at the end. I should say Soul of Migration. Here you see it here. It does put multiple bodies on the field, so not necessarily a bad thing. So I'm trying to recall. I think we take the other Bone Shards here. Not really much. We took the Soul Snare. Oh, that was the next pack. Okay, yeah, we didn't want to take another Bone Shards, a third one. And maybe we should have, but we thought maybe diversifying our removal might be good, so we wanted to try that out. And then here we've got a choice between Discerning Taste which puts cards in our graveyard and gets us a card, but kind of clunky and slow. Or, another Madness card. So we'll take that. And for some reason, I don't know if I click something, but usually it goes rare, uncommon, uncommon, but it's kind of mixed up here. I don't know if that was something I did, but I will have to look into that. All right, so let's fast forward a little bit more. And then, so we hover over Patriarch's Bidding, which brings back creature types, but we have to check our creature types. And I don't think that's going to work. So I think we end up taking the second Graceful Restoration, which seems pretty good. And then we have Exiling a tapped creature. Another one of these, or Seal of Cleansing. Oh no, we take the ramp. Oh yeah. So that could be good too. And there's really limited as far as ramp in this environment. Here's another discard outlet. So I think we're doing pretty good. And a 2-mana body, could be pretty good. Another discard outlet. Another Bone Shards. I think we end up taking the Surveil creature here, or do we take the Bone Shards? Yeah, I didn't know if that would be good for putting things in our graveyard. Maybe it was. We get a Loathsome Curator late. I wasn't sure to put that in at first, but the matches I boarded it in, it did seem pretty good. Exploit a creature, 5/4 menace, so a decent body for 5 mana. And it destroys a creature with CMC 3 or less. So here's our final pack. We take the Diamond Lion just because we're new to this format, want to see how that plays out. Could end up dumping our hand, creating some mana to, play the Madness spells with it. So I think we end up taking that here. Maybe Scourge Familiar would have been better, a 3/2 flyer. That also you can discard cards to create mana. Probably better, but a 2-mana 2/2, we could use it. We take the big Angel here. It could be a good reanimation target or something we can ramp out. And I think we take Bone Shredder here. Decent removal. Like that card for Cube. Cube, a card I've played for a long time. And I don't remember what we take here. I think we overlooked this one. I think this was the card we should have taken. So this is one of the interesting moments. I think we take this, and we probably should have taken Late for Dinner, because that's a 4-mana reanimation spell, but we also don't have a ton of top end right now to be discarding, so maybe we were hesitant. We took that instead. So we're going to take the second Soul Snare here. All right, we're going to fast forward a little bit. Another Imp. You did take this. We don't really have a ton of ways to put counters on it, but it is, a decent body removal, something we can reanimate if we discard it. Take the other Surveil Starfish. Now we get a Discerning Taste, which I think having one of was pretty good. Greed, and then there is our deck. So I think we tinkered around. Obviously, we had some cuts to make here. I think we cut one of the Soul Snares. I'll spoil here. Milliken was really good. Adding mana, putting cards in our graveyard. We didn't really have any way to see the top of our library, but I felt like it burned through some cards we didn't really want to see. I liked it. We take out the Piercing Rays, a couple of the other things, the Guardian Kin. So you'll kind of see where we're at in a second. So again, trying to go through these a little bit more quickly. Wanted to go over, it's been a while since we really kind of got deep into some of these game playthroughs. So we're gonna play through it this way. Again, just thought this would be easier than recording the whole time. So hopefully people enjoy this. So you see the first turn, I think we mulligan right away. We are up a game, I will say that. So we're going into this. We are 1-1 in the league. I've played three leagues so far. This was the second. And man, in every league I just get destroyed by Affinity. So we're 1-1 here. Playing a similar um, 3 or 4 color modular affinity, all kinds of stuff going on the opponent's side. So you see we have a pretty decent start. If we can draw the lands, we can discard this, bring it back. So that's kind of what we're aiming to do here. This was very good for the opponent. I really like this card. If you haven't seen it, for each color of mana you spend, it gets bigger and bigger. So, in these 4 and 5 color decks, it's huge. But, we've got Bone Shards. We get that for free. We're doing pretty good. They're at 11. This card was very good for them. Man, we saw this so many times every game. Scion of Draco. So a 4/4, but it just makes everything, bigger. So we're just trying to jam, trying to get through that last damage. And we're considering, when do we discard this? Maybe we unearth it. It'll shrink his creatures, get some more damage through. So that's kind of what we're thinking right now, because this also has unearth. But we don't draw the 5th land. So in order to activate this, it does require a mana too as well. So we were trying to do it in response, or end of turn, something like that. So we stay back here. Now they have lifelink, so that's a problem, because Scion of Draco gives green creatures lifelink. But I thought that was an interesting attack there. We go ahead and we trade off, and they go up to 10. But yeah, obviously they're not knowing what we have, so they probably think they're pretty far ahead here. And they kind of are, depending on what we have. But being able to reanimate this, which, as long as we have more life than them, gets double strike, seems pretty good. So they kill it. And again, we have the young Necromancer here to bring it back again, so that was pretty good. And we're going to get in there. And, okay, so here's the point in the game where this is what I wanted to talk about, which is why I highlighted this match. I have been playing a ton of Magic. Second time through this, again, I think I went in a little bit, because I had traded in cards to get the tickets. It just, it seems silly, but, again, something we want to talk about. I felt like I was about to win here. I'm about to go 2-1, get some packs back, and you can probably guess what's going to happen. They had their own Graceful Restoration, so they return 2 creatures. They use the other ability, so that was pretty good there. But again, we've got flyers. We've got a double striking lifelink guy, so we're going to go, up a lot. We can take out his guy here and then have, a body left, and then maybe even this, unearth it, and then it flies. So we're thinking about discarding here to that. And again, our opponent doesn't know what we have, but I just had a malfunction of my brain here. And that happens. It happens to people who play Magic 20, hours a week. They attack, and I was surprised. So it kind of threw me off a little bit. But we've got, plenty of time on the clock. But I'm thinking through my head exactly what to do here. If I block here and he kills that, I discard it end of turn, bring back Archfiend, win. But I don't block. I don't know. He has the win right here, and I just missed it. I was like, well, he's going to put me to 1, so I just won't block in case there's something I don't know about. I mean, he's all tapped out. So, yeah, he puts the counter on there, and he wins. So I think that's something probably about this time last year. We talked about Radicube acceptance. When you sit down and open the packs, you have to accept, the cards are going to fall how they are. I made a mistake. I should try to take a second before the next game and, I don't know, reflect on that. So, needless to say, I'm pretty tilted off at myself, which, as much as we talk about, like I, made up the term Radicube acceptance. Radical acceptance, states you can't change the past. You have to live in the moment. Try to be your real self, and not, listen to the negative thoughts that pop up. That's what, causes behavior. That's what causes, a lot of the challenges that we have. So you have to go into the next game. Sideboard the best you can, go into the next game. So we're going to fly through these first couple turns. He plays out, our arch nemesis here, our most hated card in history. um, so, again, I should be going in with the attitude of, okay, I was ahead in that game. I could have won. It's not the end of the world if you burn a couple tickets, and it's not the end of the world if you don't get the packs. It's okay to be disappointed. That's how we'll do better. Take it as a learning experience, whatever you want to say. But we play Milliken out. We're slow it down a little bit. I think we missed several land drops here, and that becomes a bit of a challenge for us. We also tap wrong, so not that we were going to exile there, so that's another issue. But yeah, we try not to carry it into the game. Now it's I don't know, sudden death, do or die. Again, I'm been training in this stuff. I talk about it often. I talk to other people about it. I am a professional social worker, but still, it's easier said than done. It takes practice, and this is my way of talking through it, acknowledging it, hoping that listeners of this show can learn and try to improve their game, their life in general. So hopefully somebody benefits from my talking through of the tilt, so to speak. And then we draw Bone Shredders, which again we probably should have boarded out. Now we get the dreaded red light coming up, so that's a challenge too. They're going to bring back a whole bunch of stuff. Discarded a card, so they're going to play Asamachamahimacha. They're going to play this lady, this wizard lady. But then we draw Gift of Restoration, which I think is a bailout for us. Scion and Draco is going to beat up on us otherwise. So we forget there that this is black, so that's another mistake. We were going to kill this, but we end up having to only kill a token. And if I remember correctly, we don't really have a great reanimation target. So we're hoping that we can somehow get a reanimation target. We don't pay the echo on Bone Shredder. We let it die. So they've got a huge board. We're at 9. They're at 9. But we've got these soul snares, right? They're just keeping them at bay because they can't really attack through these. So it becomes, a staring contest for several turns. We're drawing some dead cards here. We have nothing really good in our graveyard. So again, looking back at the draft again, we saw the one card we probably should have taken. Would have definitely made our deck stronger. So that, again, that's something we could improve on. That was a huge turn. I forgot I had these two out. But that was the turn I wanted to focus on. I brought back... What did I bring back? Now I totally forgot. Yeah, I made a mistake there where I think... I can't recall what the issue was, but I think... with the Young Necromancer, I went to click to choose the cards. I chose the wrong card to exile, and I think it didn't let me. So I was going to use this card to bring back the 2 power cards. Sorry, should have watched this first before. And I misclicked. I clicked no. I thought that would cancel the card I had selected, and then I could choose again. And now I'm really tilted off at myself. Now I've made 2 huge mistakes, which would have won me the game. But then you see how quickly they rebuilt their board so quickly. So now I'm getting lower on time, and again, they can't really attack because of these. So I'm not really sure when to bring back Archfiend, which I still had. I think I just shoved. Did I just shove with it last turn? Yeah. So I'm still thinking about back to that. Oh, did I click on the wrong game? Yeah, perhaps I clicked on the wrong game. So, or this is wrong because I was down to like no time at the end there. Um, so let's see, what game was this? Yeah. So you see, again, I was down to like no time. So maybe there's a malfunction here in MTGO, which I think maybe I did actually click on game one. Let's try it. Let's see. Sorry about that, but you know, technical difficulties, they happen. So I believe this is game three. Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, we had won that game. That was game one. So I'm going out of order. You saw game two already, and there's a mistake in here. You can watch it through quickly, but you know, sorry for the poor content. But um, basically, I've already explained what happened. You'll see it here. I was trying to bring back a card and clicked the wrong thing with the Young Necromancer. Instead of exiling the cards, you know, I hit cancel, and it didn't bring back. I believe it was the Violet Entomber. So instead of him coming back, you'll see it here in a second. Um, you know, then I would have had a 2/2 Death Touch. I could have entombed something with it. Um, there was a couple things that had happened there. So sorry, I kind of jumped the gun. So I've already explained basically the point I was trying to get to with this video is. So now I'm carrying some other baggage with me. I'm upset. I'm going to lose my prize, so to speak, of 2 packs. See, here's where I did it. And it left it in the graveyard instead. So I could have entombed something, could have brought it back like the next turn or something like that. We're getting lower on time. Yeah, I don't know what that other game was. Maybe there's a mistake in the system, but again, you know, we had to move on to the next thing. So now I'm in a hurry. I shouldn't have even started this game. That's another thing I wanted to mention. I had somewhere I think that I needed to go. So now I'm rushing, and you know, the clock and everything else. So, you know, that's Magic in general, right? We don't want to be all sour grapes about it. These things happen. Um, and certainly I'm not in a position where, you know, if I don't get the 2 packs, you know, I don't know, my wife's going to leave me, or I'm going to not be able to pay the rent or things like that. I should try to remind myself that, you know, I am in a decent position. I am playing a game for fun. But, you know, it's still something we struggle with. I struggle with in many aspects of my life, you know, giving myself credit, giving myself the okay to make mistakes. You know, they keep bringing back this guy. And again, here you see another game. Yeah, wasn't this the game? Yeah, so I would have had a 2/2 Death Touch. You could have been attacking through, or maybe they block. Again, here's the mistake I make with the Bone Shredder. Was this the same game? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I made another mistake here in playing the video. I'm making all these mistakes. No, I say that jokingly, but yeah, there was plenty of opportunities. And again, when you're playing in a game that's timed, you don't always have that moment to be able to say, okay, you know, take a break, walk away, whatever I need to do. You know, you got to be able to play through it in the moment. So this is part of it. And of course, spoilers. I found a way, you know, to make it through, and that obviously makes me feel better about it. But I will try to, you know, remember that for the next time, that I don't want to I don't want to let my emotions, you know, dictate you know, making future mistakes, because I couldn't go back to that other game where I didn't block and unblock, you know. I think I am playing the same game. So anyway, I think this something happened with the time here, because it was definitely down to like no time. But anyway, it gave us a chance, you know, to kind of talk through it again and maybe see the play, because I think I went through it too quick. But um, yeah, so we get in here, they make a couple blocks, and they're pretty much down and out. Or, you know, maybe I did make a mistake. Maybe I was so tilted off that and anxious to win. Oh no, yeah, see, because they bring this back and then they can. Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, anyway, long and the short of it is, I wish I could not even find my graphic of the little Radicube acceptance fox there. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm sorry, I guess I played this one twice. Maybe, again, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I thought it was down to the last seconds, and it wasn't. But, we did end up pulling that out. We did end up going 2-1. We got our packs. We bought another pack and fired up another draft, but that's another story. But, yeah, obviously, we don't want to downplay, tickets, if you're using your PayPal to pay for these drafts, things like that. We don't want to minimize that aspect of the game, but taking that part out of it, maybe I shouldn't have traded in my cards to begin with and put myself in a position where I was going to make myself anxious. If I was, maybe I needed to say to myself, listen, you may get nothing from this draft except for the time that you played, which is also enjoyable. So there is some points of reflection, some points where I can accept what I can control and let go of what I can't. And I had a few opportunities in this match, so I wanted to go over it. Hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully if you are drafting Modern Horizons 2, you are having fun. If you're not, there's plenty of other avenues to play the game. Arena has a cube up right now, which, you can, if you have gems and coins, can be played. So we may be jamming that in the next, week or so. But I hope people have enjoyed this video. We're back on a regular schedule where we're not, hopefully, we're not talking about too many comics Kickstarters for a while. I do appreciate anybody who supported that, and appreciate those who watched and commented on my my thankful video last time that kind of came out of nowhere. But wanted to show you Modern Horizons 2. I'm looking forward to hopefully to drafting it more. Maybe even, as things get better, hopefully finding a way to draft it in person in the future. It seems like a really fun set. It's very cube-esque, so I think it fits with what we talk about here. So you know how the motto goes, we get better together, and I hope that this will help somebody else. Notice those moments when, you're being too harsh on yourself, when you're not taking the mistake and using it as growth, but instead it's impacting, the further plays that you make. It's part of gameplay. That's part of Magic the Gathering in general. And something I think, that a lot of us could benefit from improving on, particularly myself. So I wanted to use this example, and I appreciate everyone's time in listening today. Take care.